friends, it's Mona with Rock City Tumblers. So today I was going to kind of show you what I've learned about doing the ice lids, and I also have figured out a way to make a little faux umbrella for the ice lid. And so I just saw one today that looked like it was like a already made plastic beach umbrella, but this one is more of like the Mai Tai umbrella. Like these. So if you stick with me, I was gonna show you that. So you can fast forward if that's all you need. So to make my topper part, I did use some 30-minute slow cure resin, and I'm not showing this on the camera because you've seen all the other tutorials. So but I used this resin to hold these magnets on. And so some people are putting the magnets on the underside of the lid, but that does possibly cause an issue if the magnets should fall off. These are super, super heavy duty magnets. And these are 10 by 3 mm. And I'll put a link to the original tutorial that I watched, who taught me how to do this, in the description. I cannot think of her name, I'm sorry, off the top of my head. So, but because these magnets are kind of tall, then that makes the ice sit up that high to begin with, which it might be okay. And then some people were using the car coasters, and this is the only car coaster that I have, and it's too big for this is a 20-ounce lid, and I believe it fits on a 30-ounce skinny as well. These are from Hog. But my car coaster is too big. Apparently they make some smaller ones. So what I did, instead of using the car coaster, which is a great idea, I got these chocolate mounds, these chocolate silicone, and I didn't know that mine came with 4 in the package. It was super cheap. It was like $3. Next day delivery on Amazon, and I poured the it's just some old epoxy I had actually in and filled it up. I didn't fill it up the whole way, but I know some people were talking about worrying about the holes in between all the ice and stuff. So I thought if you could make a dome to begin with, then when you put your ice around it, that would be less crevices in there that you have to worry about filling, or less crevices that that could get water stuck in there if it was already started out as a solid, because some people were using like floral foam or something. And so this one was a 2-inch, I think it was 2.04, and again I'll put the links in the descriptions below. So so that's what this says. And I did a few, and I tested drilling holes in some. Like this one could be for I need to drill a bigger hole for it, but this one could be for the mason jar, because the straw's in the center. So I still need to glue the magnets on, but you can see here when I put the sphere, half sphere, on top of the lid, it still leaves room for the straw. That's at 2.04. So it just depends on what brand you have. Also, you have to be careful, because if the magnets are too far out, then they're going to stick out from the sphere itself. So so that's still, not perfect ideal, but it kind of works. So I have my lemon wedges I got off Amazon. I did go to Hobby Lobby today, and I did not find any lemon wedges in the fruit section, or lime wedges. So I did find these crystals. They were over by the wedding section. It's considered the floral section. It's like one aisle over, and there's a whole like wall of glue guns. So I don't know why Hobby Lobby has glue guns in the floral section, and then they have glue guns back in the art section. So if you need to ask someone where this stuff is, it is in the floral section by the glue guns. You can see it says floral here, and here's a part number. And there were 2 different part numbers, and I think the other part number, it It looked like it had multiple sizes. Or maybe this one did. Yeah. So there's like teeny tiny rocks or fake ice, whatever you want to call it. And then there's the other part number was, I think it looked to me like it was all one size. I got the ones that had the multiple sizes. So let's see if I can get the little one out of here. So that's what they look like. So they're just like completely random looking shapes, and they're super crystal clear. And I even tried to make my own. I had this diamond mold, but they're not as clear. They're kind of yellow because resin is a little bit yellow, and this resin was old. So and they're super sharp. So making my own really didn't come out as good as I wanted it to. But I also did invest in some, in case I want to make these for a long time, some silicone. These are about 1-inch ice tray molds that I could make my own ice if I wanted to. And I'll put a link to that on there as well. And it's really hard to get right now, but I did get some ice off of Amazon. So I'll put some links for all of that. Because now the links that all of the ladies are sharing, it's all sold out, or it's not going to ship for like a month. And I know y'all still want this stuff right now. So if y'all want to make your own ice with your own epoxy, then this would be a way to do it. These are 1-inch squares, and I wouldn't go any bigger than 1 inch. And I would use crystal clear epoxy, and just know that maybe next year, after this lid topper sets, these might be a little bit yellow or dingy looking. So so that's the thought on making your own ice cubes. There is some ultra clear epoxy out there. I don't have it to testify if it stays clear. So these are from Amazon. These are acrylic fake ice cubes. They look super cool. They're super clear. They're super square, super huge. And then this here was Amazon, and it looks a lot like the shape from the Hobby Lobby. They all kind of look the same shape. So again, I'll put all the links in here in the description. So what I'm going to do is have a hot glue gun, and I'm going to attempt to glue some ice onto this so that it'll be here. And then I'm going to finish out my little umbrella with some white accents and glue it onto the ice. So that's what I'm going to, and I'm going to show y'all how to do that. All right, so I also have the magnets. These were 10 by 3. And I could put the links on that. Some people use 10 by 5, and there's a little bit wider, or maybe taller. I think they're wider. All right, so Fairy Tale Glitters showed us how to cut these. She just cut it with a pair of scissors that I had. And so it just depends on where you want your lime to go. Some people put the whole lime on there. Some people put half a lime. I'm just going to do half a lime and see what happens. See how hard this is to cut. These scissors are not very sharp. I have seen some people say that they used a hot knife to cut this. This is hollow, if anyone was wondering. Hollow plastic. And you are going to need to like seal it up with something. So Ruth with Fairy Tale Glitter, she just sealed it up with some hot glue. Because you don't want moisture getting in there. Need better scissors. I can see why you would put the whole lime wood slice on there. Be very careful with this. Thanks. Okay. I'm going to use this one. My workspace is not large enough. Okay, so we're going to use hot glue, and I have a low and high temp glue gun. We're going to use, I got to have it on the low right now. We're going to use the glue gun to attach it, and then later, not in this video, I will pour epoxy over this to sort of finish securing it. Okay, that looks pretty good and secure. no holes. So I'm going to set that there. So now I need to figure out how I want to do my my base. So I think for right now, I'm just gonna hot glue the magnets on. Know that the hot glue is not a good glue for this, but I just want to do it for the video. You want to use a more permanent epoxy for this, but I just want mine on so that it's not moving around. And when I put it on, I want to make sure that I'm not covering the straw hole. So, whoop, I'm going to put it towards the back quite a bit. And actually, I might end up later adding a third magnet to help balance it, because it is a little bit wobbly as it is. Just determined to hit that. Let's see. Oh, I got a hole in my glue. You can get the stones at Michael's too, the fake ice. Mine says it's out if you look on the app. You can see the hot glue in there. So I didn't go by my Michael's. And then they do have these lemons, and I'll put a screenshot of the product. It's just Ashland fruit. But the app will not tell you if they're in stock. It tells you to call the store or just go to the store. So you can kind of see the glue in the lime, so I don't know if that's going to make a difference. Okay, so, dang it. I think I'm only going to work with the little pieces right now. I think these pieces might just be too big now that I actually got them and they just came in. Okay, so we're going to just try to work our way around. Find maybe a flat spot. See how that works. Dollop of glue. So we like the hot glue because it dries quickly. But you're still going to need probably some more, some sort of other adhesive. The round of this mold is perfect. Because hot glue is not the best permanent adhesive. Well, this was a happy accident. These surface of the ice has a kind of a concave to it that matches the dome really, really well. So I'm just building this up. Like that, like a big pile of ice. If I had the Hobby Lobby, I could get the little pieces, maybe mix in here. So I did have some ice already from back when the little Frappuccino keychains were in style. But it had a blue tint to it, and it was little small pieces. So you want to make sure what you're ordering doesn't have a blue tint. Unless that's what you want. You want blue ice. And so I can come out over the edge because the magnets make it stick up that high. And I did try some of this with the Bob Smith 30-minute epoxy. It just moves too much. You have to hold it in place, and it just, if it was a flat surface, it might work. But it's also not crystal clear. So there's that. And I'm not positive, but some of this glue might be, I want to make sure I'm not covering my straw hole. Some of this glue might be glue sticks that are like glue. There we go. So I need to look into that. This was made by Gorilla Glue, so it could be some sort of adhesive glue. These were those little blue pieces. They were tiny little ones. So check the size of your stones. So there's openings in there that water can get in. So that's what you would want to make sure that you're filling. So here's my lime wedge. I could try to fit it in here. See where I want it. See if we can do the Ruth Pope trick and do the like quarter pie taken out of it. Come on. Whoa. Be super careful with this. I cracked the whole thing. Dang. So maybe the hot knife is a better way to go so it doesn't crack. And that cracked again. Well, the first one didn't. So there's a small crack there, but we're just going to run with it. So the beauty about the removable ones is if you mess them up, you can just pull it off and just start over. Kind of like that. So I'm going to hold it here for a little bit. I think my hot glue is coming undone. Shouldn't have used that as my adhesive on my magnets. And this is low temp glue gun and it's on low temp. There's my Hobby Lobby ice. See if I can find some of the smaller pieces in here. To help fill some of the gaps. Because the ice on Amazon did not come with small pieces. Okay, so here's a few. I'm just going to pull this off. So one of the magnets actually glued, one didn't. So yeah, I'll have to do a better glue with that. Okay, so I'm going to get like in here. With a smaller piece. Back here. Apparently I don't watch out for the little glue strings. I had a glue string right there. I think I can get that off. Alright, so that's what we got so far for the lid. So now I can probably add a couple little pieces here. just to fill out the dome. I don't think it's going to block the straw. There we go. Look at that. Alright. So that's what we got looking like so far. And if you can come in, you can, if you catch the epoxy at the right time, you can countersink your magnets. So that will help with some of that lift on the dome. But I let my epoxy harden all the way before I came back in here. So that did not happen. Alright. So all of that is solid. So if I didn't have that, if I just had a flat disc, then I would be filling all that with ice, fake ice, and that would have a lot more holes in it. So now all my holes are kind of more on the surface, if that makes sense. Hopefully, in theory. Okay, so now that we've done the topper, we're done with the ice for now. Let me get this out of the way. Okay, so the way I made this umbrella, and so if you're wondering how substantial the umbrella is, I'm squeezing it. I'm squeezing it, let's see. So that's how hard I'm squeezing it. And it's not moving. So that's how substantial this is. So this was probably 5 layers of UV resin. And so what I did was I found these silicone umbrella drink markers on Amazon, and I will put the link in the description. And so these are little silicone umbrellas. How cute is that? So when you brush the UV epoxy on and then cure it, if you make enough layers on it, then it will peel off. How cool is that? So this is the UV resin that I have. I need to buy some better one, but it actually worked great. I've had this forever, never tried it. Got this on Amazon. I'll put the link below. I've had this light. This light came in a nail kit. Red carpet manicure. I think I got it at Ulta. It doesn't say the wattage, but there's only 3 lights, so I don't think it's very high. So some of the other lights, like the one that CC DIY sells, how cute is that? Might be more powerful and might work better. And so these have a little attachment thing on them. So what I did was I just stabbed a hole in the bottom of a little measuring cup to hold it while I paint it. So I'm not going to show how I did that. Y'all can figure that out. Alright, so I know Glitter on the Golf carries UV resin. You can get the UV lights on Amazon. You know, you might check the wattage and stuff on them. Hobby Lobby had some UV lights. You know. Okay, so this is this UV clear. So it's hard type. Not sure what other kind of UV resin it is. It does say you need to cure it for 2 to 4 minutes or out in the sun for 5 to 20. So this would take you quite a bit of time if you did it out in the sun, because I did, I think these were 30-second intervals. I did 1:30 each time. So it does take, you know, I did like 5 layers. You know, a good 10 minutes minimum to make one of these umbrellas. Plus, I still need to decorate it, and I want to paint it white. Let me try to do that real fast. And I don't know a whole lot about UV resin and what it needs on the underside. I did use UV resin as the adhesive for this pink glitter, and I think I only did 1 layer with this white coral dust. And just a teeny line of Mod Podge. Okay, so I'm going to try to add some lines to this with some Mod Podge, and then I'll seal it again. And this is, I'm just going to use this white coral dust. And I might have to use a couple of layers of it. Because sometimes, you know, that white doesn't. So I'm going to try to make the little lines. So these are just precision tip bottles. You can get these on Amazon. But I really wanted my margarita to have like a little like Mai Tai umbrella in it. If that makes sense. Hope I didn't get too much on there. Sprinkle the white glitter on it, see what happens. So we'll brush that off. Super careful, just so we can see. I don't think the white glitter is going to stick to the pink UV. Alright, so when that glue, that Mod Podge dries, you should be able to see the white lines. Since it is clear, I was thinking about painting this on the bottom because, you know, that lacquer is on your fingers all the time, so it's very durable. So just thought. So we're going to let this dry and then come back and I'll dust it off like you would a tumbler and we'll see if it needs another layer of white. Alright, so now let's get into what you want to see how you make the umbrella. So I couldn't figure out any other way. I don't have a 3D printer. I do have some silicone, but I don't know how to really make a mold because I feel like you could make a mold, but it would be full, like across here, you know, which you know would be okay, I guess. It doesn't have to be hollow in there. You know, so you could make an impression of that if you want to. It's got pink on it. Let's do a different color this time. There's no way to make it concave on the inside with the mold, because it's going to fill up, if that makes sense. Which again is okay because you're going to glue it onto your ice. So the bottom of it doesn't have to be like a real umbrella. Okay, so let's do, I guess, a green one. So I use the white mold so I could see. So I'm going to use this iridescent fluorescent neon green from Yaya's. I've had this forever, and this is a great time to use it. And the other one I used was from Mr. Nola's, the pink, and I will put the color, I think I left it out in the garage. So to speed this up, sorry I'm rambling. My UV light does not have super cool legs, so I just kind of made a little stand for it, using something near. So those two measuring cups worked. The one from CCDIY has like these fold out legs, so it stands up a little bit taller, but this way it fits under there quite nicely. Okay, so then I take a brush, and this is just a paintbrush from Walmart or wherever, and I put a little bit of UV resin in this measuring cup. I'm not really measuring it, I'm just getting some out. Alright, and I put that away because I don't want any UV light to hit that bottle, even though that bottle's darkened. I still don't want that. So this is what I did. You kind of have to work fast. Is I dipped the brush in and got some on here. And then I just quickly spread it around, and you can see where it is because that silicone is dull. So you can see where it's shiny. So you're going to do this step several times. And it does want to kind of pull away, like repel. So that's why you got to kind of work fast. And you don't want it too thick, but you don't want it too thin. Just like when you're doing your tumblers. And so you want to make sure that your paintbrush and your dipping resin is away from the UV light when you cure it. Because you don't want that curing in your cup or on your brush. Okay, so I'm going to do this 30-minute cycle for at least a minute and a half. So I'll be back and you'll watch me do another layer. That's what it looks like in there. And you can spin it in between each cycle if you want, just to make sure that it gets kind of enough light. Okay, so I think my cycle is 45 seconds. So I did 3 of those. Ooh, and it still feels a little bit sticky, so I'm going to do another one. So I think maybe my little stand that I made was up too high, so I cut them off a little bit and lowered it a little bit. See if maybe that'll help the curing. Okay, so now I'm going to brush another. So the first layer you're gonna see is not 100% covered. So I don't know if y'all can see where it's not shiny. That means the UV resin did not make a full coat. So the second layer, we're gonna try to achieve that. So if you need to get a little bit more in your cup, I just try not to pour out too much. That way I'm not wasting it. Because that stuff is not cheap. And it will drip if you get too much, so I'm just building up another layer. So I'm going to do this 3 or 4 more times so that that umbrella gets a good base on it. Kind of like they do with your nails. So if you don't work fast, it'll start to kind of repel. And the edges aren't going to be perfect unless maybe you try like really hard to get it. Okay. So I want to make sure I move all my things. Turn around. Okay, so that was the second layer. So now it's starting to look fully coated. There's one little bitty see-through spot right there, so I'm going to coat it again. And again, I'm probably going to do this 4 times just to get the hardness, the thickness that I want, so that it won't break. So if you have a 3D printer, you could probably print some of these or make a mold. Like I said, the mold doesn't have to be, it could just be like a top. Like, you know, the little thing that the kids spend for fun back in the 50s. Okay, so we're going to cure that. I'll be back. So the 4th layer is curing now under the light. And so I decided to add the pink nail polish to the underside of this. Just, it kind of helps cut down some of the translucentness of it. And if you want, you can put a layer of UV resin on top of this and then cure it. You just turned it upside down when you put it under the lamp. I think it did make the pink pop just a little bit more than it was. I got this pink nail polish at Walmart. It was LA Color Craze 55. Vacay. Like vacation. I'm gonna spin it in there just so it gets the light even, because my light isn't the best. Alright, I'll be back. So now that you have 4 layers on, you could probably go ahead and peel it off. I'm not going to leave it on, but you could test it now. See that? See how I can peel that off? Okay, so now I'm going to use another layer of UV resin as my glue for my glitter. So I think I might have enough already in my cup. It seemed to work on the pink one, so let's see if it'll work on. So I guess you could paint this now if you wanted to, and put the little Orientals, you know, dealios on there. It is kind of hard to see where you've spread out the resin because it's all shiny now, unlike before where you could kind of see where it wasn't. Right. So now I'm going to sprinkle my glitter on, and then I'm going to cure it again for 3 or 4 cycles. I only did 1 layer of glitter, I think. May have done 2. I've also seen people use UV resin to adhere the magnets onto the lid and stuff, so haven't tried that yet. Alright, I'll be back after this goes through 3 or 4 cycles. Actually, might be able to show you this. Okay, so here is the umbrella. So this only had 1 layer of white for the little oh, it went dry. For the little lines, just to give it a little bit of accent. So I could do another layer, but I just wanted to go ahead and get through this, because I can actually put this under the UV light after it's already on. So I took a hot knife and I cut a tiny little bit of an acrylic straw off very carefully, because if you try to use scissors, it will crack like the lemons and limes did. So I want a hot glue or UV resin, this here, there in that little hole. So I'm going to fill this little underside with some hot glue. So we're going to let that dry really, really well. I spin the umbrella under the lamp because my lamp isn't that awesome. That way all sides get exposure. So once your umbrella is stick is good and cured, and if you wanted to take that and put a layer of UV resin on that to kind of lock in that pink paint, you can too. I was just trying to hurry up for the video. Just trying to show y'all. So while you're letting that cure, you can be doing other things. Just kind of time management. Okay, so I took the silicone one and kind of stuck it around here to see where I would like it. My straw hole is up here, if I recall. So I don't want to put it where my straw is going to be in the way. So I kind of liked it. Where was it? It was right in there. I like the way that that kind of looked. So this one's even shorter. It's still waiting to be solid. So I'm going to glue that right in there. Maybe right there. I'm going to hold it in place until that glue gets secure. So how cute is that? So now you have a glitter umbrella. So they're going to have to be extremely careful while washing this. And you could even like put one of the cube pieces of ice at an angle and kind of glue it down to the cube piece of ice if you want to. You don't have to do this little 3D extended part like I did. So here we go. So this is what it would look like on the topper. How cute is that? Alright, so this again, rough dirty version, just to get y'all the skills going. So this should be cured enough to put another layer on. Yeah, and at this point you can even take it off. And so if you want to peel it off, what I did was I just gently, and that's one reason I used the white one that came in it, was so I could kind of see how the color, if I put it on green, I wouldn't know how well the green looked, if I missed a spot in the glitter, that kind of thing. So this was 4 coats of UV resin, then a 5th coat, and then the glitter was on top. So I get it all around the edge, and then I just kind of gently get it to release from there. And then you can set it back on when you're wanting to do more decoration. And if you want to cure it from this side, it's not a bad idea because it's see-through. The UV light will still reach through and get any layers or anything that may have been missed. So at this point, you could put another layer on and cure it, and then draw your lines or whatever decals, patterns you want. So, so that's how you do it. And again, all the links to everything I use are in the comments below. So please like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And we hope that you enjoy making super cute toppers. And thanks to all the ladies who have showed us how to do these toppers in other tutorials. Also, before I did the umbrella, I probably wanted to go through and fill up some of these holes with some clear resin just to help with washing and stuff, because we don't want a lot of water to be locked in there. But that's super cute. All right, bye guys.